Today we meet the Alpha in Harbinger Renegade number 6.
You are now watching WhoDooTV.
Welcome to WhoDooTV. I'm Jared.
And I'm Hoosier.
And today we're talking about Harbinger Renegade number 6.
This book is written by Rafer Roberts. The art is by Juan Reap, and the colors by Andrew Dalhouse. And on this one, we've read this book, so we hope you have. We may have some spoilers. So read this book, put us on pause, we'll be here when you come back.
So just to touch base with the first issue of this arc, we have Harbinger Renegade number 5. And in this one, we saw a huge massacre, as the title says, of lots of hardcore members and lots of Gen Zero members.
We're on a journey to see the first psiots here, to get introduced to some characters that are said to have a huge role in the upcoming Harbinger Wars. We meet Gerald of Catalonia, and he is on a journey trying to get to the Stormbringer, who he has battled in multiple attempts, who's just been causing havoc on towns throughout Spain. And he's on his third journey this time to try to bring him down.
So during those times in which he has battled this Alpha, who he calls the Stormbringer, he's actually killed him both times. And for some reason, this guy keeps coming back, and he doesn't know why. And they need to figure out a way to put this guy down once and for all. This story is pretty much narrated by the journals of Gerald of Catalonia. So we get to see a little bit about, what his thoughts are on this mission, their travels to get to the Stormbringer's castle, and kind of what happened during the battlefield. It's an interesting perspective, especially when we get this new character. We're just popped right into his head.
And this book really comes along the journey that he's taking to get there, the battle to break the walls down to get into the Stormbringer, and then his interaction within the Stormbringer, that we get some ideas of what his powers are, what he does, and he has a really cool characterization. I like the way he looked. It looked pretty evil.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you think about people seeing this type of person in the 11th century, of course, demon's going to come to mind. So that's what they called him, and that's how they treated him. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. So while the Stormbringer is sowing these seeds into Gerald's head, Gerald is pretty much going at him. He's trying to ignore him. He's trying to fight back. But we get to see kind of the full display of the Stormbringer's powers. I mean, he can suck the life right out of someone's face. He has telekinetic powers to stop someone from moving, and he has the powers of mental influence. So it's pretty intense. You can tell he's absolutely powerful. I would say Omega level.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely an Omega level psiot. And kind of what I got from the synopsis is that Gerald might be a psiot down the road, or he might have been activated during his interaction. So it's kind of curious on who Gerald is a little bit more, and more about this Stormbringer.
Right, this book leaves a lot of open endings. This can go anywhere once we return to our present timeline with the Harbinger Renegades. When we see them, this can be any number of different situations, which is pretty fascinating. You don't know where this is going to go.
Which leads me to a lot of questions of this book. And actually more so the placement of this book. We just had Harbinger Renegade number 5 Massacre with death everywhere. And then we go back to the past, to the 11th century, and we get introduced to these characters that are going to have a big role in Harbinger Wars. So how soon are we going to see them right away in 7? Are we going to see them right away in 8? How soon is it going to be till we get to see these characters again? Really makes me wonder. And it also makes me wonder, because it seems like it would have been a good opportunity for Harbinger Renegade 0 issue, because it didn't flow with what we were left with. And then I'm not sure how it's going to tie in the next issue.
So after Harbinger Renegade number 5, we had a ton of momentum. I mean, it was insane, just full throttle, lots of deaths. And now we just kind of jump back into a whole different story. It kind of slowed it down a little bit. It really put the brakes on it. So, I mean, I'm curious as to how this ties in with what happened in number 5 and how it relates to the Renegades themselves, but it's just kind of, that momentum is gone.
Right. It really makes me wonder, because as a standalone book on its own, it was really good. Harbinger Renegade Massacre on its own was really good. So I'm really curious to see what this does as a full story arc. That's just where my big question is how does this all line up together to be a cohesive story?
What I did enjoy, though, about this book is how it got deeper into the mythos of the psiots and the history of the psiots. We get to see the original psiot, the first one to ever kind of be on the earth, and we get to see the types of powers that can come, and it just adds a whole lot more depth to the Harbinger story itself. So how would you rate this one, Hoosier?
I think I'm gonna have to rate it just as a standalone book, just on its own. And with that, I would be thinking that the art with Rip was great. He killed it. Again, I wasn't surprised with him to do a history piece with blood and gore. It is up his alley. The colors were great. The overall story was pretty well done. The writing was done. The way Rafer used Gerald's voice within this was good. I am going to be giving this a 4.
I'm right around there too. I would say I would give this a 4. I love Juan Jose Reap, and he brought it in this issue as well as he brings it in anything he ever does. Andrew Dalhouse as well. This gave lots of great opportunity for some cool color combinations, and it just really brought the pages to life. Rafer, I mean, I think he knows what he's doing, and I'm going to trust that. So, I mean, I can't hold this momentum change to him. So I think total, I would give this one a 4, and I'm excited, like I said, to see where this fits in the context of Harbinger Renegade itself.
With that being said, what do you think this has to do with the overall Harbinger Renegade and the psiots within the continuity? What are your speculations? We'd like to hear that, so please comment below.
Hey, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button below.
Stay connected with us by subscribing at YouTube. Also, connect with us at Twitter and Facebook at WhoDooTV.
Also, we'd like to thank our friends over at OutrightGeekery.com. Be sure to check them out for any nerdy news related stuff.
Thanks for watching WhoDooTV. We'll see you on our next video.